Conflict of interest policy. Enoc manages all its businesses in accordance with the highest principles of business ethics. The conflict of interest policy exists in cases where the personal interests of an employee clashes with the interest of the company. The policy sets out basic principles to guide all Enoc employees in areas related to conflict of interest situations and disclosures requirements. The policy requires that employees refrain from any use of their positions, information, privileges, or influence for personal gains or benefits, or from extending illegitimate support to any familial, professional, business, or financial connections. Employees have an obligation to take actions that are in the best interest of the company and avoid activities, interests, or relationships that are likely to or would create a conflict with the interests of the company. Employees are expected to perform their duties and exercise their judgments on behalf of the company without influence of any kind. Types of conflicts of interest. In some cases, a conflict of interest may arise because of actions taken by an employee's relatives compromising the objectivity of the employee. The definition of relatives is provided under the Enoc Group HR policy, or as per the HR policy, in different businesses across the group. The following are the general types of conflicts that should be avoided and, if arise or expected to arise, should be disclosed immediately in order to allow measures or necessary action to be taken. Personal benefits. Utilization of working hours for personal benefit. Utilization of company property, funds, position, power, information, or other resources for personal benefits. Engaging in any outside matter that is incompatible with the impartiality, objectivity, and exclusive dedication expected from all Enoc employees. Transaction with Enoc. Transacting with Enoc in personal capacity leading to serving dual role. Having any personal interest in any contract entered into by Enoc. This is applicable to relatives up to second degree as well. Outside activities. Having full or part-time employment aside from the current position the employee holds in Enoc without proper approval from Human Resources. Having personal business that competes with Enoc's scope of work or deals with Enoc in any capacity. This is applicable to relatives up to second degree as well. Having controlling stake in stocks in businesses that compete with Enoc's scope of work by owning 5% or more of the shares, or being able to influence decision-making process. Inside information. Improper or unauthorized sharing of company's confidential and proprietary information. Such information is not known to the general public and can provide a competitive advantage to the business. Utilizing intelligence business information received or gathered as part of being an employee with Enoc for personal benefits. Relatives relationships. Undisclosed relatives up to second degree working with Enoc Group or working at an Enoc competitor, supplier, or customer. Undisclosed involvement in decision-making related to the appointment, transfer, or promotion including any form of permanent, ad hoc compensation, benefit of relatives, up to fourth degree. Undisclosed participation in any formal decision that would directly or indirectly influence the awarding of any contract to a contractor, supplier, or any project in which the employee's relatives up to fourth degree have an interest in. Third-party dealings. Having any direct or indirect interest with an Enoc competitor, supplier, or customer. This is applicable to relatives up to second degree as well. Receiving personal discounts or other benefits from suppliers, service providers, or customers that are not available to all Enoc employees. This is applicable to relatives up to second degree as well. Gifts and entertainment. Unauthorized acceptance of money, personal, or any other type of favors and gifts from a supplier, customer, or any other third party that may result or give appearances of partiality and favoritism. This is applicable to relatives up to second degree as well. The acceptance of business gifts or minor nominal value, infrequent meals during business invitations, and entertainment of reasonable occurrence and value are generally acceptable as per the company's gift and entertainment policy. Internal gifts and incentives. Unjustified, excessive, and/or unfair gifts provided internally by the business for employees. In general, this excludes systemized incentive and recognition programs with preset criteria and proper process, as well as participation gifts for employees, activities such as quizzes and surveys. Disclosure requirements. Completing and updating the Conflict of Interest Disclosure Form is mandatory for all enoc employees, irrespective of their position or grade. All enoc employees are required to submit a Conflict of Interest Disclosure Form when they join the company, when asked to do so by Business Ethics and Compliance periodically, and whenever a conflict or potential conflict arises. A conflict of interest can arise in many common areas, despite our best efforts to avoid them. Conflicts can generally be resolved without adverse effect, if reported promptly and accordingly resolved properly. It is the responsibility of all employees to disclose a conflict or potential conflict as soon as it arises, without prompting by Business Ethics and Compliance. Conduct by an employee that violates the company policies, regulations, or rules pertaining to conflict of interest shall constitute a breach of the employment contract and will lead to disciplinary actions. If you are ever in doubt whether a situation is considered a conflict of interest, please contact Business Ethics and Compliance. Be proud of being part of an organization that values integrity and transparency.